Morning everyone, Shirley here. A cafe scene today. So I photographed it about a week ago, and it was a lovely sunny day. I thought it would make a lovely painting. So I'll do the drawing first. I'll sketch it fairly roughly, but just to get the feel of the shapes and where they are proportionally to each other. I'll probably make some changes to that photograph, so I won't be copying it really closely. Anyway, so both the photograph and possibly my sketch, I think I'll do that, will be up on the website. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is spray. Don't know why I bothered to shake that up, it's only water. And I'll just spread that out to make sure I've got it in all the grain of the paper. This is quite dark. I've done this sketch much darker than I should. If you're doing it at home, try and keep the lead lighter than that, or rub it out a little bit before you start painting. So first thing I'm going to do is the sky. I'll mix up a general sky colour. And because there's only going to be a little bit of it showing, I'm going to make it quite blue, quite bright. I'm using all my blues. I'm not being fussy about what colour it is. It really won't matter. And now I'm going to come down to the yellow. I'll wash the brush a little bit. Ooh. Now this is where I like the yellow ochre. Having done a course with Alvaro Castagnet, I'm very much influenced by his yellow ochre and his brown. Okay, so I'm going to put that in across there, quite bright. Got a bit on my brush there, I'll just smush that out. Now, going back to the blue, and actually what I want here is purple, so I'll go to the purples. Soften them up a bit. You can see how fussy I am with my colours, not very. Around the sides. This is ultramarine violet in there. A couple of other purples. I might just add some blues down the front here. Touch of yellow in here. Oh. Go for some reds. Oh, I call that red, but it's not really, it's a brown colour. And on this other side, I put brown in there, but I'm really going to be darkening that right out. Okay. Yeah. Now, typical of me that I have not allowed for any white whatsoever. So I'm going to go back in now while it's very wet, take out some areas that I think should be white. Definitely on that back wall there. Various people there. And the background should be not quite so yellow. These will all fade, these colours. Okay. Yes, across that one. Exaggerate some perspective while it's wet. Pick out some of those. A few spots of sunlight over here I've just noticed. I'm just using a tissue to reverse paint. Of course, the darker you put this on to begin with, the more fun it is afterwards. Just doing this, painting, taking it off. Right. I won't use the big one again. I'll wash it and put it away. So just while I'm at it, I'm using the same brushes basically as I do each time. I don't know if you can see them in that. Don't actually use that one very often, but this is my main painting one, the Alvaro number 6. Mop by NEEF, this particular one. So what I'm going to do now is let that dry. It's no point in trying to add more paint at this stage. It's just going to start swimming around, blending, and it probably won't know how to control it. I won't be able to control it. So I'll just dry that off. Okay. I'll go to my little wedge shape, I call that. It's really rectangle. And I'll just put in a couple of buildings that are across the road there that are in the light blue colour. Some shadows underneath that car. Now I'll go to a slightly different lunar blue, I think this one is. And okay, Fresco black there. Just blend them a little bit so that the details are not important. We're not going to be seeing those. There's a fence there. Yes, so now that I look at these people are a little bit too small. I'm going to be making them bigger as I go. Nice brown colour, burnt sienna. Start putting in that fence across there. A little bit of detail. Oh, dipped into something that's too wet. Okay, mixing a little bit of the purple with the fence as well. So I'll just finish that off. I think I'll move to the more expressive mop because it's now, I said I was going to use it before and I went and jumped into that, the rectangle. This is actually a little bit better because you can get more expressive. So these figures here, I'm going to make them bigger. Not happy with how small I made them in that sketch. So therefore I'll probably change it the one that I put up on the internet I'll make different. So a few little details here for the people. Go around them. Oops. Too much water there. Right man there. Wife. Just assuming who they are, but make them bigger. That's going to be green, I think. So I'll just put that in, I'll just touch that in. Okay, let's go back and do some green. I don't as a rule, I've got one green in my palette. It's a starter. It's a starter green, but I'll add a lot of, in this case, a lot of lemon yellow to it. And we'll start with that up there. And then it turns into quite an orangey colour. It's probably autumn. It's winter, but I mean that's autumn colours. Okay. They have got some bright green, very bright green. What do you call those? Folded umbrellas. Folded umbrellas, and a man sitting there's got a yellow vest on. I think they're bike riders actually. Detail, detail. Okay, so that's the colours of that are actually nicely reflected down into that table where that man's sitting. Not doing a very good job of that. Okay, and it's reflected down here too. Right. Sometimes when you start painting, you see a beautiful picture like this one, you think, oh, that's going to make a great painting. But you know what? They can be really hard. This is hard. I'll put some green at the front here. So I'll start working through it really quickly because I have a feeling it's not going to be successful. And I want to move on to another one. Oops. So absolutely no reason I'm putting lines there. Now there's a big brown Lunar Blue and Burnt Sienna. I'll see how well that goes together to make it a dark trunk. And I'm going to move the trunk across a little bit. With this particular tree, I think the branches go up like that and then come down like that. Can't quite see in the photograph. This is why I like to use photographs, because you have reference for how things like the branches connect with different types of trees. Okay, so quite dark at the back there. Mixing up this green for the leaves, I will start with a mild green with a lot of brown in it and grey. Go back to the green, a bit more of the yellow. Okay, I don't want it to be too pretty, I want it to be quite, although it could be a little bit yellower without going to possibly. Okay. Now I'm going to go very, very dark. I'll go into the greys and burnt umber brown. Let's see how much I can get down here. A left the door open, so of course, even though it's winter, we've got a blowfly. So, in reality, there's no leaves on the back of that tree, but I don't think I can let that happen because it'll look unbalanced. And I might just straighten up the trunk a touch. I don't want to bring attention to that. So, just using the tip of the brush to make random, I call them calligraphy shapes, but it's just whatever. This becomes your signature. The way you do this, everyone has their own style. So practice playing around with brushes to make patterns and see what type of style you end up with. That'll be yours. Okay, now I'm going to just scrub back into that a little bit. Lift it out. That gives variety. And this side here is quite light. Make sure that tree looks like it's going right up. Don't want a gap. Okay. I'm going to make a nice a ready brick brown. Oops. I'm really roughly putting in the doorway. I don't really want to spill it out. I'll add a touch of red to the path. Purple over here. Not happy with that purple. I always need to add blue to it. It's just too pink. And the pathway down, the garden down here, I'll make that goes off. Make sure that goes off to the edge. Now, here I've got the detail of all the figures and the tables. To begin with, I'll do a couple of horizontal lines to look like shadows. I'm half closing my eyes here. Mix up more purple, blue, brown, purple, blue. I'm just randomly choosing colours. I will sooner or later find what I'm looking for. And at the same time I'm building strength in the watercolour. I want to make them very dark. I don't want them, there we go. So good old, I end up with the moon blue. So dark underneath. Back of that man, side of that woman. Now these chairs here are dark against the light, so I'll put those in. And on this side it's a real mess. So let's go for some browns. Table goes across like that. Empty table. Okay. Touch a bit of red there. Red there. There's none in the picture, but I'm putting it in. I actually want to go darker up in that sky. I don't want any... oops. I'll wash my brush. Actually, I might go for fresh, clean water. I've got some over here somewhere. See if I've got more. Now, looking at that, I'm thinking, what's wrong with this? There's something wrong. And it's not holding together. There's too many lines in this. So how do I fix it? I'm going to start putting water onto that and just smudging it in together and seeing how that makes it look. Across the back there, I'll smudge that. I'll smudge this where the people are into their background. It's too far away for there to be detail. Even under here, I don't want the detail. I want it to look all blended. A little bit of path. Once again, darken it. Oop. Probably too much there. Oh, that's, you know what, there's a rab there and that's causing issues with the perspective. So, in the back here, we've got those chairs there. We need another table going across. All the tables are green because they're reflecting above. That's better. Now I'm feeling that's a little bit better. Oh, there's a nice bright red thing there. Okay, what have I got here? Let's go for the neutral tint. I'm just going to close off some of the sky. I really need it to look quite in shade at the foreground. Put some more coming down there and out that way. I'll fill that area in that I've just lightened up. I'll bring that right down into that area, knowing full well that I'm risking blending that. That's okay. Got an issue here with this particular chair. Tempted to make it a red chair, to tell you the truth, but then that might be silly. It is actually a brown one. Okay, stick with brown. So just do a double thing like that to finish it off. It's reflecting the sky, so I can't really make it any different colour than the sky colour and make it look realistic. And these chairs can just blend in. Okay. I'm not real happy with this at this stage. I'm thinking it's not working, so I'm just going to see how I can repair it. I think that ramp needs to be more defined. So I'll just take out some of the, I'll make it lighter. A rule of thumb is lighter towards the back and darker towards the front. So just scrape into that, that's nice. Just make a bit of an interesting little walkway there. I'm not quite sure what to do here. I might take some of that out, lighten the building towards the back there. Because it's being reflected from across here, it does need to be lighter. If I were not such a gung-ho painter, I would have thought about that. Okie dokie. This one here needs to be lightened a little bit more. Right. Now, totally taking out from this side. I really want the light there. Okay. I want light behind here too, but I think it's too late to take the yellow out. Yellow stains. Once you have a staining situation, you can't do much about that. So we're going to try somehow save. So there's some, you know, I've totally missed by not looking carefully at this painting, at this, and not doing the right sketch. Totally missed that there's some perfectly good black umbrellas folded up there as well. That's quite interesting, but you know what? I'm in two minds now whether they should go in. And I'm thinking the people have to be up here somewhere, sitting at the tables. So I'm going to now make them a lot higher. It's kind of how to rescue. I might call this one how to rescue a lost painting, because at this stage it's almost lost. One figure there. A couple of figures back here that are sitting there. That guy. Oh, he's actually leaning that way, that's right. I forgot about him. This is the fence. That's the fence line. Okay, so let's put that in. I'll just put a couple of lines here. More of a hint of a fence. I'll draw the outsides of these green folded up umbrellas. And I'll put that quite strongly down onto that area there. Okay. I'm using the neutral tint. Makes a good black. It's not lamp black, which I might go to in a minute. Put that chair behind him. Trying to think these chairs should be up. Oh, the drawing's terrible. Anyway, let's just continue on. Let's pretend there's another table in the middle there. If I were you guys, I would not be doing this particular. Don't follow my sketch. I might do a better sketch for you. Okay, so let's put some texture into this tree trunk. Dark, very dark on the left side. I just noticed there's light coming through on that trunk too, which I missed before. There you go. It's just sometimes a matter of just choosing what you want to put in. Now this, I might just define that there. A couple of lines across like that. A gas bottle right out the front. A couple of old things leaning against a wall. Oh yeah. Cafe sign in red, can't beat that. Oh, battery nearly gone on my iPad. It's always a sign that you should start finishing off. It's obviously out the front there. A few bits of red here, red in the flowers here, and some bright yellow if I can get it on my brush fast enough. Okay. I'm going to put some bright blue on the brush if I can get it. It's going to come down like that. Take that across. Reflections. Same with these ones at the back. Bit like water. Go that bright blue again. Just blend that in. Just going to assume that that's going to fade. Oh, this guy's got nice blue pants on. Okay, I'll look around for an area where I can just add a bit of colour. Put blue on that lady. I'll go back into the purple and blues for the shadows. Just want to run that across like that. Okay, this is where I need it, and I'm going to make a bit of a new place for me. So you can mix up beautiful blue colour. Oops, keep bumping the camera. This is Cobalt. I'm going to add a little bit of purple to it. Probably end up with Ultramarine Blue. I would like cerulean. I don't know that I've even got any. I add a bit of blue to it. No, okay, I'm all over the joint here. I'm going any old blue will do, kind of. No, back to my original plan. Purple. So I put some across there like that. This is the shadow that I want to make. Down the front, very blue down the front. Very blue here. Coming into these bushes. I want to leave the bushes green, but I want blue behind them. And the purple over here. Pretty crazy. This is the way I paint. I'm creating a painting. I'm not painting a photograph. I think that's the concept. I'll dry that off again, and I'll just attack it with a little bit of white. And as I dry it, I can sometimes pick up errors. And what's annoying me now is that this fence line not being straight. So every now and then you've got to have some perspective lines that, as loose as you make it, you still want some things to be actually conforming. And then you can have fun with the rest. Now that I might just cover that up there because it doesn't work. So I've got black on my brush at the moment. I'm just going to put a couple of straight lines down, even down to there. Another window. Right, now white. Here we go. And so this is called Winsor & Newton Designer Gouache. It's good old poster paint in the old days, we used to call it, because it dries dead flat and covers whatever you put it on it. So definitely going to write cafe over there. Ooh, first thing I should do is clean the brush. Okay, I'll squeeze some out into the tray. That way I can get to the back of that tube, which is cleaner. I'm just going to put cafe here. C-A-F-E. Now that all these people have got sun hitting the sides of their heads. And the bodies. I don't want them to be any neater or tidier than the rest of the painting. The whole thing has to match. So we've got some planks down here. I'm just going to try and pop out the white areas, obviously. What are those? Oh, they're the old people that were there before, and I decided I need to make them bigger. Okay. Outside here in the car. Oh, I haven't got the car in. Okay, the car has to go up much higher. So this is where the drawing was a little bit too loose. I could have taken a bit more care. So just a few spots here and there to bring out the distance. Interest in the distant areas. Some horizontal, some vertical. Now, just to have a bit of fun here on these architectural sections. Oh, look, I've got no idea what the windows are, but let's presume they've got a cross on them. Some white in the back of those. Bit of an edge on that table. There. In fact, I've made that fence too high anyway, but it doesn't matter. Fences are fences. And I think that's probably it. I don't know that I should really keep playing with the white. There is light on this, on the wicker work on this thing, which is rather pretty. Actually, it's worth doing. The flowers here definitely can be picked out. Okay. And in reverse, I'll go back and just define that car outside a little bit more. Yeah, see, the base of that car is up around the shoulders of the man there. So it's just going to be just vaguely in. When it's dark, I might come in and put a darker shadow. I mean, when it's dry, I'll come in and put a darker shadow under him. And I think that's about it. think I'll stop there. I'll put the signature on it. Down here looks good. There's my little cafe. Definitely an impression. And while I'm wrapping up, I'll just do one or two more things that might be needed. I'll use the calligraphy, the rigger with my brush strokes again. Add a little bit of finer, it's some sort of a pine tree, so they're needles. A lump of paint on my brush. Okay. Oh yeah, this is fun. Putting the branches through the lighter area of the foliage. Yep. You just have to be careful. This is where I can ruin a half good painting by overdoing the strokes. So watch me do that. Watch me ruin. No, I'll stop. Okay, that's it. Okay. This one here is, I'd say, very expressionistic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me do this, and I'll look forward to catching you in the next one.